Hello guys, so welcome back to a new video. So today I'm in a Suzuki Ignis Sport. So it's quite an uncommon car, to be fair, and quite quirky, pretty interesting. And what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to show you around it. I'm going to go on a drive. Let's just experience this car. So this one's a 2004 model, so it's one of the late ones. And to be fair, they're not very common. This is the first one I've seen on the road ever. And you know, it is a really fun car. So let's get straight into this video. If you haven't liked or subscribed, make sure you do, and my Instagram will be in the link below as well. So the interior of the Suzuki is, you know, what you'd expect for a car from this era. It's pretty basic, plain, you know, it's nothing that's very special, to be honest. Obviously, because this is a sport model, it does benefit from a few features. So one of them being these seats. So as you can see, it's almost like they've got like a tennis net in them on the head restraints, which is interesting to say the least. And these ones actually have Recaro seats. So who does not love Recaro seats? And to be fair, I've been driving this car for a little bit now, and they're really supportive. Not so good though is the actual driving position itself. So for example, the steering wheel on this car does not adjust at all. It's just in one fixed position. So that could be a bit annoying, but to be fair, I've got used to it. The seat adjusts quite a lot, which is more than enough that I need it to. So I'm pretty comfy, but I know for some people, if you're tall and you've got to be further back, that might be a bit of an issue. But to be fair, it's pretty decent. I have to say, this car does feel like a van. Like, look how much headroom there is. I mean, there is so much. It's actually crazy. So let's be honest, this is what we're here for, the driving experience. So, sounds good. It's already up to heat, so it's nice and warm. And like I said, I've been driving this car for a little bit now, so I've got used to it. The owner, Adam, said that the accelerator pedal is so sensitive. And to be fair, I didn't expect it would be until I actually started driving it. And it's really, really sensitive. Let's go on the drive. I've kind of got used to the accelerator now. But when I first started driving it, it was terrible. But it is a really good car to be in. It really corners really well. So this car has a 1.5 litre VVTi engine, which you'll also find in the Toyota Yaris R Sport at the time. So they're very similar engines. I don't think Suzuki changed anything. It produces 107 horsepower, which doesn't seem like a lot, as you can imagine. But this car only weighs around 960 kg. So it is literally like a little go-kart. And it feels like when you're driving it, and it is really nippy. I think 0 to 60 in this car is, you know, just under 9 seconds, and for a car like this, it's quite surprising. I mean, on the outside of the car, you wouldn't really notice that it's you know, sporty. I mean, if you look inside, you've got some Recaro seats and it's a bit yellow, but on the outside you've got like a, you know, dinky spoiler. To be fair, it kind of looks like it's on some kind of like, the body looks widened, but still it looks pretty basic, to be fair. The owner of this car has put some different wheels on it, which I think look pretty good. You know, black and the red bits on it. So I think they look pretty good. It suits the car really well. But to be fair, I think people are surprised when you throttle it and the exhaust sounds great. You know, I've done it a few times now, and people have turned to look, and they're probably thinking, what the hell is that pizza boy doing in that little dinky car, absolutely revving the nuts out of it? But it's great. There isn't really any complaints about the driving experience. You kind of feel a bit high up when you're in this car, which isn't necessarily too bad, because I do feel like I can see the road pretty well. But it is quite weird, like there's so much space. It almost feels like you're in a van. But I kind of like it. But I know for a lot of people, for a car like this, you'd expect to be quite low to the ground. But nah, quite high up. The seats don't adjust either for height, which might be a bit annoying for some people if they really want to be low down. But unfortunately in this car you can't do that. So this car has a 5-speed gearbox, which is quite smooth. It's really good if I'm honest. The gearbox is really smooth, really responsive, and the throws between second and third are really short. So you know, if you are absolutely revving the hell out of it going into third, the ratios are pretty close, and because it's obviously timing in it around 4,000 RPM, you're still getting the power, which to be fair is really good. But I'm on an open crunch lane now, so I think what we should do is give it some beans. So I'm going to drop it into third, do 40, and then we'll get up to 60. That's 60. So it is a quite firm suspension, I'd say. And if you're just driving around, so where I live, there's a lot of speed bumps, and it's not very. The roads are terrible. And if I'm honest, you feel that a lot in this car. You feel every bump, every pothole, everything. You feel it all in this car, and it's a bit negative to be fair, because we just rattle around a bit when it's like that. But when you're on the country lanes, it's really good. It's really fun. On some sharp corners, to be fair, seeing how high this car is. There isn't a lot of body roll, so I think the suspension setup is a real benefit to that. You'd never know that it's got this throaty engine under the car. It's quite sleepery if you like. I don't think a lot of people would expect this to have the oomph that it does. It's not really what people would expect a hot hatch to look like, because it does literally look like, a pizza car. You expect your pizza to come in, or what your nan drives. But I really like the design of it. It's with being Japanese, it's a bit over the top.
Just one traffic issue, Cornwall Road in Smith.
Don't care about the traffic issue. Thank you for letting me go past. The radio is a bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. If you want something that's rare and not very common, then I'd look out for one of these. I think a lot of more people would get the Toyota Yaris because they were just more common at the time. I really can't say that I've seen any of these at all. But they're quite quirky. The interior isn't really that interesting, and for a lot of people the design's pretty boring. But from my driving experience, it's been a really fun car to have for the last couple of days. I really do think that this is going to be one of those classic cars. It's almost like a Saxo, but not really. It makes a really good noise as well. But if you're driving one of these, you notice the power is quite high up, so anything above 4,000 is where you're going to be with the power. But for a naturally aspirated engine, that's quite normal. And at 4,000 you feel the VVT go in. think that concludes today's video. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. I've changed the camera angle this time. I feel like it's a bit more engaging this way. But let me know what you think in the comments. This is one of my third videos. So I just want to give a big thank you to Adam for letting me borrow this car as well. It's been really nice to have. Really fun, definitely. And you know, it's made me consider getting in a car like this. I don't look the best. You know, I feel like people only look at you and think, lol. But when you put your foot to the floor, it's pretty good. And it handles really well. It's a little zimpy, little nippy car. But yeah, like I said, if you liked today's video, please give me a thumbs up. And you know, if you want to, subscribe. I'm still quite new to all this, so hopefully I'll just get even better. What I'll do as well, I'll leave my Instagram in the link below, just so you can subscribe to me, or follow me on Instagram. On there, I just basically take photos of cars, and I'll be updating you on any videos that I post in the future. So, but yeah, if you've enjoyed today's video, thank you. But that's all for today.